everybody. Welcome to Healing What Hurts. We have the lovely Body Illusion here as always, and we have our special guest, Matt, from Surviving Together. Welcome,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone.
Um, did you put it to your channel, Matt? Did you connect it to your channel?
No, Restream
No.
wasn't letting me do it, but I put on my post that
Okay.
I put
Okay.
your link on the post. So
Okay. Well, I have your channel posted at the top of my chat. So they
okay,
can find your channel that way.
okay,
And
perfect.
Body Illusion is streaming to her channel. So we're good there. Hello, Chu. Welcome.
Yeah.
So, what
Hi,
we've been
Jill.
doing is we have been going through the process of, hello, Sister Janine. Welcome. Going through the process of me trying to heal my inner child. Now, I wasn't even aware of the fact that I had issues with my inner child from my childhood until recently. And so we've been, talking about different things, and I've been doing different strategies and different things. And I am, hello, Miss Regina, but I am on my way to healing. But what I want to know from you, because you are a trauma survivor and you do deal with this kind of stuff all the time, I want to know what has helped you. Because I always say, not everything that's helping me is going to help everybody. And I forgot to do the disclaimer. Disclaimer, we will be talking about childhood trauma. So if that's not your cup of tea or you don't want to hear about that tonight, then please say bye bye and you can come back on another night. Okay? All right. Miss Mac, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us about your channel.
I'm Mac, and I'm with Surviving Together, and that's my channel. And I'm live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. and Saturday at 3 p.m. And my channel is a safe space for trauma survivors to connect and build community on their healing journey, as well as providing trauma-related education for all. So I I offer up, the trauma education. Some of it may not be for people who haven't been through trauma, but I think that all of the information is good, I think, for everybody, because chances are in your lifetime, if you don't have trauma, whether you recognize it as such or not, you're going to know somebody who does. And the information is just as important for people who would potentially support survivors, um, as well as just, having the space for community, for trauma survivors to connect, even if they don't share their own trauma, which is never a requirement. Um, it offers that connection, helps us know that we're not alone. And if you do have something that you want to share, people, you can put something up, and I guarantee you somebody's going to be like, totally get it, totally understand. Whereas, if you're just talking to a friend who doesn't know anything about trauma, a lot of times we get, oh, I'm sorry. And, and people just don't quite know what to say. So having a community where you're understood intrinsically just because of what you've been through has been just healing in and of itself for people, and allowed them to, even some people, to start on their healing journeys where they didn't think that they would be able to, because nowadays people are so isolated. Trauma is isolating anyway, right?
Right.
And nowadays, people are even more so isolated because of being, working from home, or just, being separated from family or whatnot. So that is my channel in a nutshell.
Well, that's one thing that has really been helping me too is having a community of people who get it, you know.
Yeah.
And not everybody has the same kind of issues that they're dealing with. And sometimes, there might not be any information that, really helps anybody on that particular, discussion. But just the fact that I'm talking about it, a lot of people have been like, "Oh, if she'll talk about it, maybe I can talk about it," or and I've had people contact me behind the scene and like, I'm not comfortable to share it out on YouTube yet, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
share it, with you. So I think that is helping.
Do you get that as well, Matt? Do
Yeah,
you get that as
occasionally.
well?
Yeah, occasionally I
Some of these
do.
people in the back.
Yeah. And I've even had some people that I'll hear from 'em once, and then 3 months later I'll hear from them again, and maybe 4 months later, and just because they're having a hard time, but they're always lurking. They're not in the chat, but they're, lurking kind of in the background and just, watching, and which is fine. I mean, and that's the one thing I stress with my
Listen.
channel is you don't have to share anything about yourself if you want to be in the chat. You can just chat with people and hear their stories and ask them questions. People will respond honestly. If they don't feel comfortable saying something, if you ask them a question, they'll respond honestly but kindly and say, that's not something I wish to discuss. But for the most part, everybody is, extremely open. So if you're even wondering about anything, you usually can find information or at least connect with somebody else.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
For me, it's been like I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to think about it or look at it, and it was there, and I kept, just kind of pushing it back and pushing it back,
Mhm.
and then, like Body Illusion said to me, there's something there in your childhood because when you talk about it, you get emotional, and I'm like, yeah, there's stuff there, but I'm not ready to look at that, and she's like, but I'll be right there with you, and we'll just get through it, and I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do it, I have to be held accountable, so I'm going to do it on my channel, and I'm just going to what do they call it? Rip the band-aid off and be like, okay,
That's
this
very
is
brave
my
of you.
story,
Very brave of you.
So and the main reason I wanted to do it is because I want to help other people, and I want other people to
Hmm.
realize that don't wait like I waited. I'm 62, and I have lived an adult life that I have had problems in related to my childhood trauma that I never even put two and two together. And I could have
Yeah.
alleviated some of those problems for myself had I made those connections. And so I want people to realize that, it's never too soon and it's never too late to look at it and
You
see.
just you just encapsulated my chapter. It's
Really?
100% what my book chapter is about. It's never too late to start. The book is called Begin It Now. So, I mean, it's like 100%. It's never too late. And, one of the points that I make and I've made on my channel is, and I've talked to so many people, and especially older people who look at their childhood and go, well, that's just how it was. And so they don't look at it as trauma. And no matter how much we want to compartmentalize, no matter how tight we think we may have that box welded shut, it trauma, it seeps out. I mean, it lives in us anyway, but it's going to seep out of that box. Those trauma effects are going to seep out of that box, and they're going to affect you no matter what, no matter how much you think that you have forgotten about it and never touched it again. It's still touching you. And so we really do ourselves a disservice by not facing it. And I 100% understand it's not easy. I mean, healing from trauma it's messy, and we fall and we stumble, we get back up and we move forward and we go back, and our emotional roller coaster is all over the place. But at the end of it, there can be peace, right? And
Right.
like you said, all of a sudden you'll realize, oh my God, that's why I
Yeah.
did that, or that's
Yes.
why I act that way.
A
And
high
it's
grizzly
it's like
warrior.
amazing. right? You don't even realize it. I mean, I realized I was isolated as a kid, partly because of my trauma, but then looking at my family structure from from my trauma and how my family structure then built out and came together or didn't come together, I realized like my brother's rejection of me was even more isolating, and how that also fueled my need for attachment as well. And so you start just kind of putting all these pieces together, because you have to break everything down into its smallest pieces, and you start um realizing connections that you would never have otherwise thought of. And it can be, yeah, very jarring, right?
Right.
Yes.
Let me
Yes. She says
address
it a
Mr.
lot. She
Mr.
goes,
Do you
I
know
can't
him?
believe it. Why I just
Oh,
had
oh,
a
oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Mr. Roger here in our chat.
oh,
Um,
go ahead, honey.
yeah, the whole point of this, sir, is to look at the past and to heal from the past so that we can move on and live happy, fulfilling lives. So I can't really say, yes, I can give you tips or suggestions what to do to heal yourself. I can just share with you what I've done and what I am doing. It sounds like you've got quite a story there. So, I'd be glad to talk to you if you want to email me and we can talk behind the scenes, but I don't think we're going to be able to discuss a whole lot right here tonight. Okay? I hope that helps. Okay. Yes, and this is my whole point is that first off, I was scared to death to look at it. But then once I started looking at it, I realized that I've lived through it. So how bad can it be? I mean, no matter how bad it is, no matter what I find out, I've already lived through it. So I can look at
Exactly. You're a
it.
survivor.
And yeah, and then there was a lot of I had like a lot of half memories and bits and pieces
Mm-hmm.
of things that just didn't make sense. And
Yep.
then it was and that was all, bad. But what really bothered me were all the thoughts I had in my head of all the things that I believed were true and were true about myself that really
Yeah.
were not. And that I never
Mm-hmm.
even questioned them because it's like that's how you're programmed. That's just how you are.
Right. Right.
And I always felt like there was a part of me that was missing, but I never like thought, okay, there's a part of me missing. I always thought like I want to be like her. Like I would
Mm.
meet somebody or I would see somebody and I would be like, now if I could be like that person, I could be happy then, you know. And I always thought like I have so much to do to work on myself. Like I have so many things that I feel like I'm not good enough at or. And when I especially what helped me was doing the meditation, the inner child healing meditation. And then I started realizing there I don't want to be like somebody else. I want to be my whole self. I want to get those pieces that I left back there and I want to heal them and bring them with me, you know? And so now
Right.
I don't feel like that. I don't feel like there's something missing. And I don't feel like I want to be somebody else. I just feel like I need to heal the things that I look at negatively about myself. And once I can do
Right.
that, I think I'm going to be okay with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely
And
been a process. Yes.
yes, and it is. And I want to I know some people are having an issue with Roger in the chat, and I
I
just want
will
to
be.
address something that he said, and that when people such as ourselves get up here and we talk about our trauma and we talk about the process of healing, it's not about victimization. It is not about wallowing in self-pity. It is not about, going, "Oh, I'm a trauma survivor." It's about sharing our experiences. It's about letting people know that they're not alone, and it is letting people know that healing is possible, and all of this is messy. And you have to explore your past trauma. You don't live in the past, but you have to look at your past in order to see why you are the way you are, why you do the things that you do, and to be able to move forward and be better, right? Going forward. So, and I wanted to address it specifically because it's a comment I do hear. I mean, not often on my channel, but when you're speaking to people who are not in the trauma world, there's just this, uh, misinformation or belief that some in some way we're regaling in our trauma, right? And putting it up and saying it's something special. It is, and that's not it. That's not the purpose. I do know there are some people who, put it out there as a, woe be me type of thing. And, look at me, look at me, look at me. But that's not what I'm about. It's not what my channel is about. And that's not what we're about here. This is not what Echo's trying to do, and not why Body Illusion and I are joining her on this screen. It's about, how do we heal from this? How do we recover? And you can't recover for something if you can't identify it. And it can be very difficult to look at our past. It can be very painful. And as you said, you looked at it and you had partial memories, and that's trauma. Trauma doesn't, um, because of the way trauma affects us, we don't get like a movie picture of what went on, right? We can sometimes remember snippets of it. And I know for one of my abuse cases, that's 100% true. And for a long, long time, I didn't even think that I could say I was abused because I couldn't really remember it, right? I just had this gut feeling. I just
Mhm.
felt that I knew, and I had the snippet here and a snippet here and a nightmare that I'd have. And now that we know that memories live in our body, right? Memories don't just live in our brain. Science has proven that this year, that memories are actually stored in cells in our different cells of our bodies.
Mhm.
Um, we can't pull on those as a neural link to try and remember something from it, but that doesn't mean that it we don't remember it, that our body doesn't remember it. And that's why we say trauma lives within us, right?
Right.
Because it truly, truly does. And in order to release that trauma from ourselves, we have to know what it is that we're releasing, even if we never have a concrete memory. And that's one thing that I think some people maybe have a falsehood about, that they have to, I can't remember, what do I do? Do I do hypnosis now? What, I can't remember. You don't have to remember all of it. Having at least a sense of that, something is wrong and this is how it's affected me, is enough to be able to put pieces together and to be able to move forward. So,
Well,
sorry,
I,
I just
I
wanted
think
to kind
No.
of
like
address
in
that.
my case, I didn't even realize that something that happened in my childhood, I guess I didn't really understand that who you are today is directly related to who you were as a
It
child.
started out way back then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like, I think there's a lot of us that are adults who have gone through all the motions. We've gone to school, we've been educated, we've had jobs, we've had families, we've had marriages. We to the outside world, it looks like we're successful. We've lived, a normal life. But if you feel like something's not right and something's missing, or in your heart, that you're wanting to be somebody else,
mm-hmm,
there's got to be a reason for that. And
yeah,
it might be from your childhood. And I think that's a lot of what we were trying to get across to people, is that how do those childhood trauma things show up as
yeah,
adults? Because there was a lot of
right,
things that I could relate to when I researched that kind of information, and I was like,
Hmm.
they could have wrote this about me, like I have
Right.
all of these things that I just thought were my little flaws, my little quirks, and I don't
Right.
think you
Exactly.
realize how can affect you, you
Yeah.
know. And even like I've had a lot of talks with my older sister, and with her help, we've pieced a lot of things together. But we
Hmm.
both have said to each other, how did we live in the same house with the same parents and not know some of these things?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because not everything is known to everyone in the situation. I mean, what do they say? Turn a blind eye. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Right.
going on right there in front of you, and you don't have to look at it,
Well, and
And
your perception as kids can be different too, depending on your ages, depending on, how close you are, or, do you spend time together, all that kind of stuff. And to go to what you said, I had one counselor once in all of the different therapists that I was at. And I kind of brushed her off at the time because I didn't know enough then to really truly appreciate what she was trying to tell me. And she was explaining all this stuff, and I was looking at her, and I'm sure it was just like kind of like, "Ugh." She goes, "Okay, here, let's draw a picture, right?" And she just kind of does this, of a tree, and she's like, "This is all your stuff that you're dealing with now, all the leaf type things, right?" And then she's drawing the stronger branches in the trunk, and she's like, "This is your more formative years, right?" And then she gets down to the ground and she draws these roots. She goes, "This is your childhood." And she goes, "That's where it all comes from." And I was like looking at her like, "Yeah, right." I mean, I knew my trauma affected me, right? But all the other stuff I went through with childhood, like, my relationship with my dad, like, really is it that much of a and, it wasn't until later on when I educated myself about trauma and its effects and how it carries through and can change with you as you get older that I truly appreciated what she was trying to tell me in that drawing of that tree. And
Yeah.
so I always carry that with me. So if that helps anybody to
Thank you
think
for sharing
about
that.
kind of like your life like that.
And
Thank you for sharing
it was
that.
kind of
Yeah.
funny how my sister found out that I was doing this series. She, most of my family, they don't care anything about me being on YouTube. It's kind of like the running joke. Oh yeah, you have a channel. And it's like,
Hmm.
okay, yeah,
Right.
it might be funny to you, but I take it very seriously. But
Hmm.
anyway, so it was on a Tuesday. We were getting ready to do a live, and I was, getting my notes together and stuff, and she texts me out of the blue, and she's like, I'm on vacation in Washington and blah blah blah, and hey, send me your link to your channel again, because I've misplaced it. I've got time now, I want to look at it. And I was like, well, let me tell you what I'm doing on my channel right now, because I didn't
Right.
want her to pull up a video and be like shocked that I was talking about it, or
Right.
Telling
maybe
family
not know
business.
that I was talking about it.
Or
And
even
so
a trigger for her
yeah,
potentially.
yes, and
Could
that was
be.
it too. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to
Yeah.
trigger
Good
you,
point.
because you know and she was like, no, 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 I want to know everything that I want us to talk about. I want to know everything
That's
that you
great.
remember, and
Lovely.
everything. And she's like, if you find anything out that helps you, I want to know, because it might help me. And so we had always, talked about things, but it wasn't until she was able to look at some of the videos and then come back and have a conversation that then we really got into things and realized how many things we really did not know that had happened
Mm.
to each other, and yet we
Oh,
were
yeah.
in the same house. So to me, if your own sister living in the same house, raised by the same biological parents, you
Yeah.
two don't share the same things, then how do your friends or other family members, how does anybody really understand anybody's stuff. It is a
Well,
personal thing that
yeah,
you've got to decide how much of it you want to look at and how much do you want to heal it. It's like, can you put it in a little box over here and say, you know what, you stay in that box and I'm going on over here. But
right.
then it's like I keep having
And
to come back to that because it's like, okay, but now I'm feeling this. And that's another thing. It's like peeling an onion. The more I
yeah,
look at it, the more it's coming up and the more thoughts I
yeah,
have. Like, okay, now I knew this thing was going on, but I never even knew about this. And then to have somebody else like Body Illusion will say to me, yep, you do that. Yep, yep, and it's like, I don't see it. I don't see myself like that. And
right.
that's what you need is somebody you can trust who can see you as a person, whether they
Yeah,
understand all your trauma or not, but that they can see you and they can give you those kind of, encouragement saying, yep, 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 you're on the right track. You're digging it up and that's what you need to be doing. And that's what Body Illusion has done for me. And I hope that we
uh,
continue trying to find things that will help other people. And even if you don't want to look at everything, even just like use one of the things, that we've figured out that helps and just start there and see what comes up for you. Because like the meditation at first, I was like, I can't meditate. I've
yeah,
never been able to meditate. I
yeah.
cannot put my brain down. I cannot relax. I cannot do it. And it was like the first time I did it, I was like, yeah, this is tough. This is really hard for me. But the second
Mm-hmm.
time, it was a little easier. The third, I think about by the fourth time, I mean, I was like, boom, I'm right there. I'm in the tears. I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do it. But it
Yeah.
was so hard because if I had quit after that second time or that third time, I would never have been able to. And it's like now I can just tell myself, okay, it's time. We're going to do this. And I'm able to relax and able to get into it. But I never, ever thought I would be able to do that.
Well,
So,
and that's why channels like this and channels like mine and other people who do this and have people sharing their trauma experiences are so important. You're doing it live are so important to allow the connection because for a lot of trauma survivors, talk therapy is not real effective because you're just kind of going over it. And especially if you don't have a trauma informed therapist, right? Somebody who really understands what you need to be digging for. And it's getting more expensive, right? Even just seeing somebody's getting more expensive, even if it's on a, doing an internet thing or whatnot. So for some
and
people, this is their only way of
those
connecting with somebody.
several therapists to find a good fit with a therapist. And I think people will get discouraged along
Oh
that
yeah,
too. Like
absolutely.
I'm coming
Yeah.
for help and I'm not getting help. So I got to find somebody else, go through the whole process again, start all over with it. And it might take two or three, before you find a good fit with somebody. And yes, I believe, there are a lot of things that we need professional help with, you know. And I think if I had started looking at it and was like, oh, I can't, then I would have had to get a professional to help me if I wanted to continue it. But it's like I started doing the research and I just kind of like, you're doing it. It's like there's no turning back. We
Yeah.
got to look at this.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's why I said,
Okay.
it's called top down therapy, talk therapy, where you're kind of going through your head and you're going, and what they have found is for a majority of people with trauma, um, bottom up therapy works better, and so it's the body based therapies, what we call soma techniques, so humming and dancing and singing, EMDR, tapping acupressure points, meditation, practicing mindfulness, yoga. all of these things they're finding are much more effective for a lot of people with PTSD, CPTSD, sexual abuse, physical abuse, particularly if anything stems from childhood. And again, it's not to say that there isn't a place for talk therapy, but it can be ineffective, and it can be also just triggering and re-traumatizing for some people. So knowing that there are alternate ways of going through this, that you don't have to go to a therapist to begin your healing journey. So I think some
Right.
people think, well, I'm not really going to heal unless I am able to seek that professional help. And that's not true. There is a lot that you can do, on your own, or just connecting with other people who have been there or know things at least about trauma. And you can get a long way with recovery without having professional help. It's not to say that I poo-poo
No, no.
professional help at
It,
all. There's
I
definitely
really,
a place for it. It's just traditional talk therapy doesn't always work for anybody. If you're going to do something like EMDR, which is technically a body-based therapy, you need to go to a trauma-informed therapist who understands EMDR and practices EMDR. Um,
I swear
so
by
there's
that.
so there's 100%, a place for them. It's just not the only place.
yeah, and I feel like a
But
person
everyone's
can't
different, as you said. So
until they
they
want
can
to heal,
they took different
you
paths
know?
to get here. It's going to take you different paths to move forward. It just
Yep,
right.
Yeah.
The reason
absolutely.
there's so
And
many different
if
directions
you're
you can
not
take it.
ready, even I would say, even if you just kind of think something might have happened and you're having the problems in your adult life, even if you don't go back and really look at it, just start taking the little pieces of the things that you're having trouble with as an adult.
Yes.
And like
Mm-hmm.
I had to take like each thought and be like, can I prove this thought is true? Can I, find evidence that this is true? And is this my thought? Or is this what I've been told? Or is this what I've been made
Mm-hmm.
to feel? You know, and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And once I was able, because before it was like, it was just constantly there. And if something came up, it was like, I didn't know how to stop and be like, wait just a minute. Let me, look at that and think about that. Whereas now
Yeah.
it's like I don't get as much done because when the thought comes up, I'm like, okay, buddy, we got to challenge this now because
We
I
got to
don't
chat
know
with this.
what
We got to look with
thought
it
this
for a little
is.
bit.
Right.
So let me, and
Exactly.
so many of the thoughts that I just thought were true. And one thing that helped a lot with those negative kind of thoughts was talking with my sister because our mom like played us against each other. So
Oh,
she told my sister I thought all these things about her and felt these ways about her, just like she told me my sister, did this. When my sister and I started actually talking and comparing notes, it's like, I never said that. I never felt that way. That is not true. That was mom making up stuff or whatever.
no
And that
wonder you guys saw things differently,
and that's
totally
when
different
you really
perspectives
start to
about
understand
things.
that these things that we
Right,
believed
right,
it for so many years, it's got to be true. No.
right, right.
And that's the only thing that's really helping me is realizing that all the things I thought were wrong with me, they're not necessarily wrong with me. They may be underdeveloped. They may be areas of my life that I never took the time to develop because I was too busy doing all the other stuff and just
Mm-hmm.
pushing those feelings away. Like, okay, yeah, I'll get to that eventually. You know how it is when you say, one day I'll have time to, do this or do that or whatever. No. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think I thought that if I just tried harder to be a
Mm-hmm.
better wife and a better mother and a better employee, that I would feel.
Right.
It never dawned on me that doing all that stuff was actually what was making me miserable because I wasn't taking care of me. I was
You're
taking
not
care of
taking care
everybody
of
else.
yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
it's
there is gratification in caring for others, right? But we have to love ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves first and foremost,
yeah, yeah,
and that can be very, very hard to do. Very hard to do, especially if we've been either told, either through words or actions, that we're not worth something. And
Right.
even
mhm,
if that was told to us in our childhood, and even if the adults in our life, for all our adult lives, even if you got married and you had kids, and all of those people said you were wonderful and everything, that stuff from the past just stays with us and lingers in the back of our mind, right? And so
right,
somebody be like, "Oh, you're great, you're great, you're great," and you're like,
mhm,
yeah, I don't know so much, and you're still kind of wondering about it. And so, and I wanted to mention, you're right, it's some people think that in order to start on my healing journey, I have to like immediately dive into my childhood or immediately dive into the actual trauma, because not everyone's trauma happens in childhood, right?
right, right,
um and that's not true. You can deal with, you can start with whatever is first and foremost in your life. What's your biggest problem? What's your biggest obstacle? What's your biggest negative thought? And start there. And
right,
once you start doing all of that stuff, it will lead you to your trauma, no matter where that trauma started. You'll eventually get there, right? Because
right.
there's trauma effects that are coming from it. You just may not be putting the pieces together yet, but you'll eventually get there. So, I think that's a great point that you make, is that you can start wherever you are. You don't have to start by just delving in.
And I
Let's
think it's
dive into
too
the deep end.
scary. It's too scary to say, I messed up. I've got lots of problems, but maybe you can look at one of those problems and figure out why that's happening. And then you'll figure out, oh, it's because of this. And then this happens because now I feel this way, and it's like a vicious cycle most of the time. But now, like what you were saying about not feeling good enough, it doesn't matter how many people tell you you're good enough. If you don't feel good enough, you will never feel good enough until you start realizing that you're good enough.
Right.
And it's almost like you've heard that you're not good enough for so long, you've never given yourself permission to even try to love yourself. It's always been, well, that's just the way it is. I'll never be good
Yeah.
enough. And then, like with me, I started like, very small, like, but I do like this about myself. And I was listening to somebody the other night, and she said, if you can't look in the mirror and look at the whole face or the whole picture, look at one part
Mm-hmm.
and be like, I do kind of like my eyes. I've got pretty eyes.
Right. Right.
You know, now you may not be able to look at nothing else for a while, but the
Right.
next time you look at it, maybe you look at your nose and you'll think, well, I could have a really ugly nose or a bumpy nose or whatever, and you just have to
Mm-hmm.
like pick things apart until you can find little tiny things that you can start to say to yourself, well, I do like this. I may hate myself, but I do like this right here about myself. And then you
Exactly.
can start putting all those little things together, and eventually you'll be like, I'm not so bad. And now it's funny because now I'll go in my bathroom and I'll look at myself in the mirror and I'll say, yeah, we're working on it still. It's like, I
Yeah, I
can't
know.
tell you I
Could be
love you
worse.
enough yet,
Could
but
be worse.
we're working on it. But it's so funny how you can think yourself out of it. You can take those negative thoughts and you can start putting a positive. And that's another thing. Another person I listened to said, when you take one negative thought out, you got to put a positive thought in there so that
Yeah,
when that
exactly. Yeah.
comes up, instead of automatically going back to that negative thought, now you've got this positive thought to think about, and you got
Yep.
to start swapping them out. until eventually you don't have any negative thoughts and you just have the positive. And then you got to learn how to turn when the feeling comes. Don't look at it as being a negative feeling. It's just a feeling. And now I
Exactly.
turn
Look
that
at it, you
to a
recognize that
positive.
it happened, and then what I do is I do this. I go, "Whoop," and I
Yep.
try and throw it out. This is successful. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes
Yep.
it's, you know, I'm
Yep.
chasing it around and I can't quite get a hold of it. But, you know, try, but you do. You need to at least acknowledge that, you know, you've thought that because obviously there was some reason that that came into your brain, some reason that you're feeling that inside of you. And so by recognizing it, we're having a deeper understanding of ourselves. And it's very important that immediately replace it with a positive thought. And usually I try and liken it to something, you know, that's the opposite of that thought, you know.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's an easy replace. So you're just like, okay, if I think I'm ugly, then I'm going to say I'm beautiful or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, it can be things that you're told, you know, when you're young. I was told that I was ugly growing up by everybody. I mean, not my mom, but you know, my brother, his friends, kids at school, you know. So by the time I was a teenager, I mean, I just believed it, you know. And when you go through, I think for a lot of people who are childhood sexual survivors, they also kind of come to an intrinsic understanding that you're only good for one purpose. Um, and it's whether it's sex based or it's just a matter of pleasing somebody else, no matter what that is, you know, no matter how that, you know, you yourself intrinsically don't have value for that, right? So even as recently as, you know, I started dating again at 50, so about 2.5 years ago, and you know, if somebody would say immediately, you know, oh, you're beautiful or whatever, I'm like, okay, next, you know, because obviously they don't know what they're talking about. They're just trying to get something, right? To me, that was a red flag. Is it a red flag? No, not necessarily, right? You know, but when you hear that and when you believe it at such a core level, it's a real hard thing to get past. And you know, it's been easier in the past few years, but I still, you know, that's why I look in the mirror and go, well, it could be worse. I'm not ready to say ready to say you're beautiful, but I'm like, okay, you know, you at least passed for average. And it's an improvement, right? It's an improvement in my mindset, so I consider it a win.
Well, I think that we can be very vulnerable when we don't feel good about ourselves. And
Hmm.
when
Oh,
somebody does
100%.
pay us some attention, and especially if that person is able to pick up on the things you want to hear or need to hear, then they can manipulate you very easily
Hmm.
because of
100%.
that, you know.
Yep.
So I think we need to be able to tell ourselves those things and be able to be okay on our own without any kind of other relationship before we get in a relationship. Because then, if they say that, you know, you'll be able to be, well, of course I'm beautiful. I know that, you know, instead of being like,
Exactly.
you need glasses because you are
Exact. I
seeing,
know.
you
I
know.
know. I
So
know.
I really
Right.
think that, you know, before you're going to be able to go out and have a successful relationship and even friendships, you know, you can't give something you don't even believe yourself, you know.
Right.
So to
Hmm.
me, really, if you're having trouble with relationships and, you know, you feel like you're doing all the things and yet you're not getting anything good out of it, then, you know, you need to look at yourself and fix yourself before you try to, you know, be in a relationship with somebody else. Now, when I met my husband, I was living in this fairy tale world that I was waiting on the white knight in shining armor to come on the white
White
horse
horse.
rescue me.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
just, as soon as he said it, I was like, this is him. This is it. This is what I've been
Yeah.
waiting for, you know? And so I did everything I could to make sure he was happy so that he would stay. And then when I had my daughter, it was like I would do everything in the world to make sure she was happy and that, she wouldn't leave me. Well, ultimately, my husband did leave me. Okay. And so then you're like, okay, that was a fairy, he wasn't any knight in shining armor. He didn't rescue me. I rescued him. I'm the one that, you know, and it's like I lived all those years thinking I had the perfect marriage, the perfect husband, and if I had known all these things that I know now, I would have never even got with him. I would have been like,
Right. Yeah.
I do want to have children, but I don't necessarily have to have a husband to have a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back then, it wasn't as, acceptable as it is
Acceptable.
now,
Yeah.
but it could have happened. But no, I was raised that you get married, you have a family, you're the
Hmm.
wife, you're the mother, you live this, the white picket fence American dream, and
Yeah.
what do you do when that American dream does not work out after you've spent almost 30 years of your life, you know, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're like, okay, something's got to be wrong somewhere because this didn't turn out how I thought it would. And I was able to look at myself a little bit then, but I was so busy with trying to figure out now what do I do? Now I
Right.
have to pick up the pieces. I have to be able to support myself. I have to finish raising my daughter. And then I became
Hmm.
disabled. And then it was like, okay, well, I can't really, you know, look at myself too much because I got to make sure I'm going to survive. It's more like
Right.
you just
Yeah.
want to survive. And then I finally get to a point where I'm like, okay, I get a check. I can live off that. I'm okay. I'm going to survive. Well, then my daughter has the baby, and I've got the baby now for 4 years. So I really didn't have time to look at it then because
Yeah.
I was busy doing that. So when it was coming to the end of having my granddaughter full time, then it was almost like, how you hit yourself with in the cartoons, they'd hit their thumb with a hammer and the big thumb would come out. It was
Yeah.
almost like that. Like, how are you going to ignore that? I mean, it's there now. You have to do something. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm in the situation now where I'm going to have time to look at it, and do I really want to do it? Am I going to do it? And then I was like, okay, but if I do it, I got to do it on my channel because otherwise I won't do it. I'll say I'm doing it, but I won't really do it.
Yeah.
It
And
was the best decision I could have made. Now, not it's not for everybody,
no,
but
absolutely not. And I'm the same way. There's an accountability. And I tell people on my channel all the time, I'm on this journey with you. I have learned more about trauma and trauma effects since I started my channel
yeah,
than I did the entire time previously. I mean, I knew basics and I knew some stuff, but the depth of my knowledge now is so much more because I've had to research it for the channel, and I've had to, I need to sound like I know what I'm talking about. And I like to think that
right,
I put out true information, that I'm not just talking out my rear end. But, and it is, I started my channel when my son was in his senior year of high school, so he was practically,
Out of the house.
self-sufficient, I mean, so I didn't have to be, making sure that he was getting up in the morning. He got himself up. I didn't have to make sure he had breakfast. He knew how to pour a bowl of cereal, and he had his
Mhm.
own car and he could drive himself places. And it is, it's tough. It's tough to do when you have other pressures in your life. And I know a lot of people are just like, yeah, I'd like to look at it. And it does, it takes a commitment. at whatever stage you're in your life, it does take a commitment that you're going to, even if you're only going to set aside a half an hour for yourself a day, can you manage half an hour um, as that piece of your self-care? And you don't have to start by looking at yourself. That self-care can be something else, but
Yeah.
something to nurture yourself. And eventually that nurturing it kind of takes on a life of its own. And as you're nurturing yourself and as you're caring for yourself, you want to feel better, and you want to know more about yourself. And as that bubble bath felt really good, yeah, that walk felt awesome, and it gave me time to think, and I thought about this, and it kind of grows from there. So I encourage anybody who is in a position where, you're a wife or a husband or a girlfriend, you know, or a daughter, and or you got a kid, and just everyday life is just takes up 100% of your focus. Find some time a day, even if it's only 10 minutes for you to read or do something that you want to do. You have to start small, start as small as you need to, but do it to take care of yourself, because it is so easy to get lost in others' lives,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and like with me, the more I learned and the more I did, the more I wanted to figure it. It was like you've opened the
Yeah.
box and now you're starting to see how these things are working together against
Hmm.
you. So it's like
Yeah.
now I got to figure out how to make that stop. And so it was
Hmm.
easy for me, but being that I had to do a step each week, you know, it was kind of like, okay, you don't have a lot of time to play around here. We're going to look at this and then we're going to go on to the
Hmm.
next thing. But I would find myself going back to like, well, remember what we talked about in week one. Now this is where it's coming in, that I can see, okay, I had to do step one before I could get to step three, and
Yep.
things like that. Because if you're not ready to accept what you figure out, you can't
Hmm.
change it, and
Absolutely.
by doing it publicly and saying, okay, you can see everything. I'll tell you anything and everything only because I want it to help somebody else. And like that guy was saying before, I could care less if anybody cares about my trauma. It's my
Hmm.
trauma. It's my
Right.
business. But if you can come in here and listen to me talk about what I'm doing and it helps you any, then it was well worth me talking about it.
Yep.
But people want to fix, oh, I had this and I had that happen and da 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 da, and how do I, like we talked about forgiveness.
There it
All right,
is.
you know, you got to forgive the people who hurt you for yourself, so
For
you're
yourself.
not to bond with that person anymore, and you can move forward. It doesn't do anything for them. You're not letting them off the hook. You're not, it's for you that you're doing. A lot of people were like, I could never forgive this, that, the other,
Yeah, forgive does not mean forget. It's
No.
about opening up that space inside yourself for that anger, for that resentment, for that negative stuff,
And it
and
doesn't mean that
setting
you're
it
going to
aside and
reconcile
allowing
with that
light to come
person.
in.
You're not going to give them another chance to be in your life. You're not accepting what they did or anything like that. You're just saying, I'm not going to be in this bond with you. My not forgiving you or my hating you is hurting me. It's not hurting you. It has nothing to do with you, you
you,
know.
you already
And like,
survived that event with that person or
right,
events or whatever. You already survived that. Why give them another iota of your emotion or your thoughts, right?
right.
There's going to be a certain amount you may remember because you're going through, your trauma and stuff, but you're not
Hmm.
giving your energy when you're able to forgive that person, or at least, and some people don't like the forgive because it has connotations for them. You can say, I let it go.
Yeah.
I'm letting that anger go. I'm letting that resentment go. I'm not giving you any of my energy. You don't deserve it. And I don't need to have that in my life. So that's cut
Back to
off.
this again, huh?
And yeah, exactly. And so if that's another way you can think about it, if the word forgive just doesn't resonate with you, just think about it as letting all that negative energy with that person go, so that you're not putting it towards them, so that you can put it towards you
Yeah.
or the people that you care about.
Right.
Then you've got
I've
more room
I've
inside
talked.
yourself.
They're talking in the chat. I've talked to Echo a few times that for her opening up to the world, you Mac opening up to the world, it's making ripples. It's making changes. It may be small ones, but small ones grow. You know,
Right.
they reach out further and further. So
Like
yeah,
Echo said, she's talking to her sister because of this, and they're
right.
discovering things,
Yeah.
about the
Nothing but
and she may
ripples.
not have had a trauma, but it's, maybe there's some childhood issues that she's been holding on to for, different attachment styles or whatever, or resentment towards you or
Right.
whatever it was.
Right.
And so you guys are talking into you resolving things with that. And, you know, like I said, my channel, I barely have 650 people on it, right? And if I've helped one person out of all of that, that's worth it, right? That's
Yeah. Oh,
one
I'm sure you've helped more
person
than one person.
that,
Just having that
has
space available for people to come there when you do go live, I'm sure to those people, that is invaluable that they've got that, when I first started my YouTube channel, I knew I wanted to help people. I knew there was something I wanted to do, but I couldn't figure out exactly, like my direction, like what I really wanted to
hmm
do. And
right, right.
I talked about a lot of different things over the 3 years that I've had my YouTube channel, but a few months ago, it was like I really had a big shift in even the way I think about my channel. You know,
hmm
um, I mean, I've been told so many times, oh, your channel would be so much more successful if you would make videos people wanted to watch instead of making the videos you want to make. And I'm like, that would like be a burden on my mind. I would be like, maybe they're right, maybe I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
but I would always come
But then
back
isn't
to,
it, it's about success versus it's this external success versus
right.
internal
And
success then,
it's like
right?
I can't make a video or do a live about something if I don't feel that or believe that. I can't
Yeah.
be a liar. I can't just get on and be like, oh, well, because Echo says you should do this and you should do it. No, I want them to see I'm a real person. I'm struggling too,
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if I say it's helped me, it might help you. And I don't want anybody to ever be like looking back at it and think, well, she was nothing but a liar. She didn't know, anything she was talking about. But it was like my focus had to shift like you're on the right
hmm
track. You are doing what is best for you, even if it doesn't get you any views or any likes and nobody ever comes in your channel. And I knew that. I knew I might lose subscribers or at least they wouldn't come in, when they would see the topic, they would be like, yeah, no, not,
Right.
you know.
Right. Exactly.
And I was like, if that's okay, that's okay. I'm prepared for that to happen because
Does it make you happy?
I was at
Does
the
it
point,
make you happy? Does it fill a purpose for
Fulfill.
you? And
yeah,
that's,
Fulfill.
I think,
Fulfillment.
yeah. And I think that's the question that needs to be answered. And if the answer is yes with that, then do it.
and
Absolutely.
to think
And people see
about,
it.
I've worked this hard and this long on it, and I was ready just to shut it down and walk away from it, but I still was like, but I want to help people. If I could help one person, if I could feel like
Exactly.
I helped one
Yeah.
person with their struggle, then it would be so worth it to me. And I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? If I change my direction and I focus on what I want to focus on, whether I keep the people I have or I find different people or, whatever happens, even if I'm on here talking to myself and nobody watches anything, I will be fulfilled because I will be doing what I felt I needed to
Right.
be doing.
Absolutely. 100%.
You have to look at YouTube. Is it a way to make money? If it's just a way to make money, there's other ways you can make money a whole lot quicker and probably a whole lot more money, unless you're Mr. Beast, you know.
Right. I mean, if
And
you love coming on here and putting on a performance and you don't mind what you're talking about and you're going to talk about pop culture and you're going to talk about whatever crime of the day it is, or you're going to, I mean, that's the stuff that sells, and, you're willing to get into the clickbait type headlines and, all that kind of stuff, then yeah, that's your measurement of success. Our measurement of success, because we're coming at it from, um, you know, more of an altruistic, standpoint. I mean, it's partially altruistic, it's partly selfish because
yeah,
it helps me just as much as it helps the viewers
yeah,
and the people who are watching. Because, and I've said it before, there'll be days where I'm like, God, I'm tired. I wish I just want to sit. I've had a bad day. I'm not, whatever. And I come on, and by the end of it, I'm like, God, I feel good.
Yeah, refreshed. Yeah.
Yeah, you've connected with people, everybody's uplifting. That's the thing all of our communities have in common, is that they are also welcoming, and um, nobody is ever, you know, turned away except if they're going to be rude and mean, right? I mean, that's the only thing we don't put up with. And I want to say hi to everyone who said hi to me. And I know I
Yeah,
haven't
they've been talking to me.
recognized you individually, but hello. Thank you for all your wonderful comments. I've been reading them, and I see you all, and yes, and then lovely to meet you. The people who I don't know who are in here who have said hi to me. Thank you very much, and um, it's been wonderful to meet more people.
a lot of the people that are in here,
There
um,
you go.
I have met uh, from some Christian content creators, and that's another thing that, you know, whatever you believe in, whatever your faith is in, you need something, you know. And if you can find a community or find family or friends or whomever that can help lift you up and can help support you while you're going through issues, um, that's all
Human,
that
yes,
I
human
don't.
beings need connection.
Yes, and
It's
nobody
just,
has
it
to be
is just
alone.
true. Even the person who says they're a loner, you need connection of some type. I guarantee you that loner is gaming, even if it's with an avatar or whatever, and they're gaming with other people online, right? Or something. The very few people are total hermits with no connection to the outside world who are 100% satisfied. It's just not in human nature.
Now,
Not to
my
say that there isn't the
son-in-law,
one person out there who, is happy as a clam living in Iceland, who's, cut off from everything. But for most of us, yeah, we need connection of some sort.
well, my
So,
son-in-law is an introvert, but he is also um, very selective with who he is going to talk to or, socialize with or whatever. Now,
yeah,
if it is a situation where he knows the people and he's comfortable and there's a topic he wants to talk about, he talks just like anybody else. But if it's something he doesn't know about or he's not interested in, he is the quietest person ever. You won't even know
hmm
he's in the room. But
sounds
let
just
there
like my
be,
brother.
something,
Yeah,
and it's like, oh my gosh, totally different person. And
right.
he plays a lot of video games and stuff on the computer. And when he is on there gaming with other people on the computer and they're talking and laughing, and it's like, see, he wants to have that connection and do those kind of things, but maybe not face to face, maybe not in
hmm
situations, that he finds a little overwhelming,
Right, right.
Everybody is different. Some people are
Exactly.
people. They need people all the time. Other people
Yeah.
like just, I like my privacy, my personal
hmm
space, and I like being
Right.
in control of what I want to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it. I do not really like somebody saying, you know, this is how it's going to go. I'm like,
Mhm.
the quickest way to get me to disagree is when you start putting a lot of limits on what I can do.
Right, right.
DJ, but my brother and my sister both have, they've really never worked for a boss. They both are
Mm,
self-employed. They both have their own businesses. I'm the only one of the three of us that ever worked for a company, and I worked for Walmart for 17 years. And my brother and my sister do not know how I let all those bosses tell me what to do and how to do it for 17 years, because they can't even have
they
a
can't fathom it.
mm.
Right, right.
I'm
It's
like,
just totally outside of their world.
I am that person. I like to be
Mhm.
in control and in charge of things, but somehow it just worked for my
Yeah.
situation. But they're like, no, no,
Yeah,
not
my brother's totally an introvert, and he's got his core group of people, and they are at X person's house on Wednesday nights, they're at X person's house on Friday nights, and then they alternate people's houses on Saturday nights. He comes to my family's house, my parents' house, one night a week for dinner. We all go for family dinner, and I mean that's his routine, and he's got his job that he's had since, holy Christ, he must be going on almost 30 years there now. And that's it's his life, and he's happy that way. He's never been married, very rarely dated, but but he has connection. And these people he's known for 20 years now, and they all share the same interests and love the same gaming and Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever they're into it. They all have the same sense of humor, which I kind of go, huh? Every time he tells a joke, I'm kind of like, huh? And it's just not mine, but they get him, and it's so
Right.
I'm thrilled that he's got those people in his life, right? So even if it's only five people, that's his crew.
Right.
So, and sometimes some people, you may only have one or two really close friends. I mean, people who you really consider close. Like if you were in the hospital, who would come and visit? Or if it's not physically possible for them to visit, they're at least going to be calling and checking on you. Or
right,
those situations where you go, you really know who your friends are now when
mm,
all things fall apart, right? And
right,
and that's okay. That is totally okay. And you don't have to have a large group around you, and it's so important
It's
to
that
just
quality.
reiterate, it's a quality, and everyone is different, and everyone has different needs. And I think that trauma is something that we talk about, and we talk about the effects of it and how universal a lot of it is. And it still affects each of us slightly different because we've come from different experiences. The traumatic event was different for each of us. How old we were
Like
when
her and
we
her
were
sister
there.
in the same
yeah,
Ex-
house.
exactly. And
exactly.
that's
Perfect
the
example.
thing.
100% different.
It's okay. It doesn't mean that what I remember is wrong or what she remembers
Mm,
is wrong. It means that we were at different points in our lives and we saw things different, or even if we saw it the same, we still were different people experiencing the same thing. And so it's different. And I think that's why a lot of people don't talk to people about things, because they're like, you're lying, or that didn't happen, or I don't remember that. Saying you don't remember it is not saying it didn't happen,
yeah,
you know.
very much so.
And I think when you do try to talk to somebody about something and that's their attitude, well, it must not have happened because I don't remember it. Well, I didn't remember a lot of things either. So that doesn't mean it didn't happen. But I think that's why we get shut down. And it's like, well, you know what? I just keep this to myself. This obviously is not something I'm going to share. I'll put you down. That I'm going to share with anybody else.
If people say, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. Well,
Yeah,
that's what happened from your
point
perspective.
of view, exactly.
And I think that's it's a real key. I mean, this is something, when I spoke with my parents, think some things that were said, and I just had to step back from it and say, okay, well, that's what you believe happened that's what you remember because of your perspective. And I need to keep that in mind. So does that mean that's the absolute truth of what happened? Not necessarily.
Yeah,
So, yeah, when you speak to people about issues or traumatic events, it's important to keep in mind that they may be coming from the same, instance, from a completely different perspective or ideology or blindness,
yeah.
right? And unwillingness to look at things as well. I'm going to, it looks like David's here. I heard
Okay.
Charlie. So
All
it
right.
looks like he got here. So I'm going to need to say goodbye and get to
All
dinner
right. Well, thank you
with
so much
everybody. But
for joining us.
absolutely,
This has
thank
been a
you for
great
having
conversation.
me.
And
100%, anytime, anytime. You email me, and
I will.
now that I know that too, that you've been going, on this journey, I'd love to let's chat. And I'd love to have you on as well and kind of piece together your journey, and
Yeah,
and how things went, and kind of put everything that you've been doing into one,
yeah,
right?
that would be good.
And we can put something together like that. So I'll email you about that.
Okay.
We'll
Sounds
talk.
great.
So
All right. I'm going to go
thank
ahead
you,
and drop you
everybody
down.
who's been here. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Hugs and love. And I will talk to you guys later and see you actually tomorrow night on my channel at 6 p.m.
Okay. We'll be there. Bye now.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Um, Ellen Smiles. I didn't say hello to you. Hello and welcome. Oh, I'm so drained from that conversation, y'all. It is so good to get the weight of things off, you know. Um, everybody struggles. Everybody's got things that they don't understand or that bother them or hurt them or, you know, anything like that. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter if you want to talk about it on here or not. My email is in my description. Body Illusions is in her description. We are both more than willing to talk to anybody about any, topic, anything. We want to be support and be able to help people. Um, and if any of the things that, I've gone through or I've figured out what is working for me, if I can share that and help you, then that's what I want to do. Thank you, Stephanie. I love you too. And I'll tell you, I am so much better now. And I don't even know, this is episode, I don't even know what. But each step that I take, each new thing that I learn and apply it to my life, it's just releasing it and just letting me move forward. And I know a lot of it is, God saying it's time. It's time to look at it. It's time to do it. And I don't know if it's episode 7, she said. Okay. She's not ready to come back. Okay. But um, you need support, whether it be in your faith or in your, community, your family, your friends, whoever it is, everybody needs support. And you need someone who is going to understand what you're going through because you're not going to understand what you're going through. And that's part of the learning process, because you'll be changing, you'll be evolving, you will not be the same person. I said that to Body Illusion the other day. I am not the same person I was before we started this. I am not the same person, and I'm thankful I'm not the same person. you know I am learning to love the person that I'm becoming, but I still have things to work on, and I will continue to work on them. I put out a video today with positive affirmations. I am done doing the journal prompts, and I am moving on to doing the positive affirmations. I suggest that everybody make themselves, whether it's sticky notes or index cards or just a notebook or anything, and just write out how you feel, and how you want to feel about yourself. You might not be there yet. You might not believe the things that you want to believe about yourself. And if you have to keep telling yourself over and over and over again until you start to believe it, that's okay. So I'll be putting out a few videos with the affirmations. I like doing them. I like trying to think of things that I still feel negatively about myself, and try to turn it into a positive affirmation. So anyway, I have got, let's see, Sister Tia from Boldly Unshackled will be here Saturday night at 6 p.m. And we are going to talk about healing and our spirituality, how spirituality can help us on our healing journey. And that will be Saturday night. Of course, I'll be here tomorrow at noon for Wellness Wednesday, and then Thursday at noon for trivia, and then Saturday, it's 7 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock. I'm sorry, 6 o'clock Saturday night. I am going to be doing live streams on my Fun with Granny channel. I'm going to try to do them on Mondays, like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I am also going to be doing some live streams on Khloe's channel. And I'm going to try to do those like Wednesday afternoons after my 12 o'clock live. And I'll just be putting together some videos of hers and kind of like a premiere, running the video, and just be there to talk in the chat. I probably won't just talk on the live part. I'll do it as a live with just running videos or something. And I guess that's it. I made something really good today to eat, y'all. I have an air fryer, and I bought these little ceramic, like Corningware, little ceramic casserole dishes that fit in my air fryer. And I took and I chopped up a little bit of ham and some breakfast sausages and onions and bell peppers and garlic, and mixed that all together with some of the buttery steak seasoning that Chef Hit Dice gave me. And then I took and I mixed up a couple of eggs and put a little bit of milk in there with the eggs. And then I put the meat and the vegetables in the little casserole dishes. I poured the scrambled eggs over top of it, and then I put cheese on them. And then I put those and baked them in my air fryer. And oh my goodness, so good. And they're oval. They're about this big around. So I cut it in half, and I put them in my little prepping containers so that I can have, I didn't know you were back. But I put them in the prepping containers, and I put a couple in the fridge, and I put the rest in the freezer. So now all I have to do is thaw them out, pop them in the microwave. But they turned out so good. little like Western omelets in a little casserole dish. I was so proud of myself because I was
That's
just
so
going to make
cool.
scrambled eggs. And I was like, oh, I have this and I have that I need to use up. And I was like, oh, here we go. We're going to make something. So it was a lot of fun.
Fun.
And I did,
And got to clean out your fridge at the same time, huh?
yeah, yeah, and I did. I need to clean out my fridge, but I threw away all the stuff that was yucky in there. So,
Right.
like Izzy was saying that there was something dead in there. There wasn't anything dead in mine, but it was close. It was real close.
Yeah.
So I definitely had to do that. But I have a video that I'm going to show tomorrow on my Wednesday live about the benefits of drinking the bone broth first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Now, I didn't realize that
Oh,
you were
okay.
supposed to do that. And I was watching a video and they were talking about it. And I was like, really? I just thought I could drink it whenever I wanted to drink it. So I did a little research
Right.
about it and I found out why. So I made a video that I'm going to put out later,
Okay.
but I'm going to show that video tomorrow as part of my live stream. So y'all will be getting a sneak peek about that.
How exciting. Yes.
And
I know. I know. Yes. A cooking video. Everybody's like, food, 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 food.
yeah, I'm gonna start doing more cooking videos. I usually forget. Like I took some pictures like of the casserole before I cooked it and after I cooked it, but I didn't like while I was doing it. I didn't realize I was gonna do it, so I didn't video it or take any pictures. But when I was done, starting to cook them
Right.
in the air fryer, I was like, "Oh, this is turning out pretty good. I should do it before because I had 3 of them." I was like, "Before you cook that last one, you do need to take a picture of it, and then you could at least make a short out of it." Um, but yeah,
Well, Chef has asked you a couple of times, hasn't
yeah,
he?
I have to get my confidence up before I can do that. But I did use the buttery
You
steak
could be on
seasoning.
that lady's channel. The one.
I said I used.
Everyone's so creative.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder what kind of seasoning I should put in this.
Sourdough. I love
I
sourdough.
was like, I got ham and sausage in there. I'm gonna try the buttery steak seasoning. And oh, it was so good. I was like, man, turned out good. And I think that's why I haven't been doing much cooking because I only eat such a little amount at a time. And I don't know really like how to cook small batches of things. So, but I'm like, you have all those prep containers. All you got to do is put some in there and put it in the freezer, and you'll have it done for when you want it.
Yeah. Because it's rough eating the same thing for like 3 days.
Yeah.
By the time it's gone, you don't want to look at that ever again.
Well, and that's the one reason why I don't, because I bought the little containers to, prep them ahead for the week, but I don't really ever know what I'm going to want to eat every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like I would have something planned and then I wouldn't feel like that for that day. And then, so I have to get to where I have maybe, 2 or 3 different things that I can make and have in there. And then, whichever one I feel like out of those. I know you are sure
What, since you have to eat so
Thursday
much,
is I'm wrong for tomorrow. Okay. What did you say, hun?
oh, okay. Um, since you have to eat so much protein, do you do a lot of mung beans or anything like that, uh, uh, or soy,
No.
like tofu or anything like that, or soybeans or anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
I eat
maybe that's a
I eat a lot
California
of
thing.
ground turkey. I eat a lot of chicken. Um, and I like shrimp. And I have found that I
Mhm.
can do the shrimp in my air fryer pretty easily,
Okay.
and shrimp has like no fat. So shrimp is
Mhm.
really easy to do. Hi, B. Welcome. Um,
Yeah, I would do.
but
Oh,
I
I would do like for friends, I would do like a smoothie, and then I would put tofu in it and put it in the blender to get that big high protein, and then you don't have the tofu taste, the chunks of. But it's
yeah.
really high in protein, really
Yeah.
high in protein.
Yeah.
You just gotta find a way to hide it for you.
Well, and I don't know how the people do it who are on the carnivore diet where they basically just eat meat. I mean, and I guess because of the time period I grew up in, we didn't have like each person didn't get their own piece of meat. It was like
Right.
meat inside of a casserole with other stuff in there with it.
Hmm.
And so it's kind of like if I just have meat, I'm kind of like, yeah, but I really want a vegetable or I want, and I can't eat all of it together anyway, but I will make asparagus or broccoli or Brussels sprout. And
Oh,
sometimes I just eat that. I won't even have
yeah,
any protein, you know, and I'll
yeah.
just,
I can cook an artichoke, and I can just eat that for dinner. Just give me an artichoke, boil it up, and I'm good to go.
don't like
Yeah.
to. Yeah, I mean I don't mind like baked beans, but I want bacon baked in there too, and I want the sugary barbecue sauce and all of that. Um, Now I did when I first had the surgery, when I first got on the like baby food consistency food.
Oh yeah.
Um, I was told to take black beans and sardines and put
And
them in the
sardines.
blender and blend it up. And it kind of tastes like a Taco Bell burrito. Kind of,
Ooh, just the word sardines. Ooh.
yeah. And
But I
sardines
like black
are
beans. I
very,
love
very
black beans because they're a
salty.
little sweet. A little
Very,
sweet.
very salty, you know.
Oh yes,
So, but I
right up
don't
there with the anchovies.
now I like the garbanzo beans or what are they called? Chickpeas.
Yeah.
I like those like raw in a salad,
Hmm.
or I like to do them in the air fryer with some seasoning and eat them like popcorn.
Yeah.
Um, but I really don't eat. I'll eat like refried beans. I ate a lot of refried beans when I first could eat the mushy food because you could
Right.
put the sugar-free tomato sauce on there and a little bit of cheese and kind of bake it, and it kind of tasted like you were having something pasta-y or Mexican-y or
Especially
whatever.
for so long, you're eating that mush food. It just seems like it's forever because you have to do it every couple hours. So it's a
Yeah,
constant.
and you're afraid to put too much in there because you're
Yeah.
not like sure how it's going to go. And
Right.
so you eat so little of it at a time, then you're like, and you're not really hungry either. But
No,
it's like I had to have the alarm set, like,
it's the
you
fixation.
know, just to remind me, oh yeah, you need to drink. Oh yeah, you need to eat something. And so it's like it didn't really matter what it was, like because you could have sugar-free pudding, you could have the protein shake. I mean, there was a wide variety of things that I had on hand that I could have, but none of it was like a hamburger or nachos or it's like so
Right.
even though you had plenty of things that you could eat that were healthy and were high in protein, it really wasn't what you wanted, you know.
Yeah.
So
You're still only having 2 or 3 bites of it.
yeah, and at first I
Yeah.
was like, I will never look at food the way I used to enjoy it. I thought I'm never going to enjoy smelling something cooking and, tasting something. But I do. I mean, even though I know I can't get very much of it, like when I was cooking that bone broth,
Mhm.
it smelled so freaking good. And even though I put it in like a small coffee mug, like maybe a 6-ounce coffee mug, and I only fill it like halfway, it
Mhm.
is so warm. It's so warm and comforting. It's just like a treat having it. And since I
Mhm.
realized you're supposed to do it first thing in the morning, I do it now even before I do my coffee. It's like
Okay.
I do that get that broth going in there, and then I'll get to my coffee. But it's very savory tasting because I
Uh-huh.
used all those
But
spices.
you sound like it's very comforting to you too.
Yeah,
So it is a good way to start the day. Feeling
yeah.
good about yourself, feeling
And
good.
in
And
the
it's
winter,
that olfactory again.
when it's
You know.
cold out, that is going to be so nice. Which I mean, you can.
Rick Spicer, I'm not sure. I'd have to look up to see if sugar is a vitamin. I'll look that
Yeah,
up for you.
no,
I'll get back to you on that one.
yeah, it's a vitamin you should not consume.
Moderation, honey, moderation.
You can have sugar mixed with honey and use it as a facial. You
There
don't
you
have to eat
go.
it.
There you go. We did that. Even Seventh
That's
knows
it.
that one.
That's right. And I'm
Good
going to
job,
try some of
sweetie.
those. I'm going to try some. I want to do the avocado recipe and do it in my hair
Avocado. I
and
mean,
do
you
it
can
on
use
my face.
strawberries, you can use papayas, you can use bananas. You know, back to cleaning out the fridge. What do you got in the
Yep.
fridge?
Yep.
Whip
I,
it
I
together.
want to do that. I want to do that because I think it would work good and I think it would be fun to try it. So I want to
Oh
do that.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's messy as heck, but it's so fun. It's so fun. We record it. You don't have to
DJ,
show it, just record it. If it turns out bad, don't play it. But yeah, it might be
oh,
fun.
I don't know if BJ could do the remix or do the song because he can't hear the song. I'm not sure how that would work. But anyway, BJ, somebody wrote me a song and I want to put the song with the butterflies and make a video out of it. But if you animate the butterflies, then I can probably do it.
Yeah.
So
Tell them how
we'll be
long it
working
is.
on that.
Two
And
point
let
four
me let
seven
me
minutes.
share something that BJ made me. Hold on. Um,
Okay, let's see
I
it.
wanted I wanted a new
Oh, DJ.
something for my kids channel, and so I told BJ I wanted a little old lady, and I wanted her to have some kind of sidekick, like a pet or something.
Mhm.
And so he came up with the cutest little lady, and she has a cat now named Cuddles. So we got Granny and Cuddles the cat.
There you go. Now, BJ, do you do sign? American sign? There. Oh, those are beautiful. I love those butterflies. They're just gorgeous. Oh, look at there.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So me, this is Cuddles the cat, and he made this background and in the vid as the video and the letters and the numbers like come in. Let me see if I can find that one. Let me go back because this I just made it as a thumbnail. Let me see if I can find the
Uh-huh.
video. Um, no, if this is it or no, this is where I was trying to separate it out.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Oh, maybe. Okay. Here we go.
Let's see. There it is.
Now, is that just the cutest thing?
Wow. That's wonderful. That's
I love it.
wonderful. The granny animation. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I changed on the here. Let's go to the channel. Let's see. So I changed it on the channel for my logo and my banner.
Rick, you're so sweet. You're so kind. Oh, Scully, see you soon. Thank you.
Okay, so now I have my Fun with Granny Everything Preschool banner and my
Oh, I
logo.
like that.
And see, this is what I used before. I had the that
Before
that
BJ got involved.
I just made myself, but I really like this one that I made with BJ. I'll play this for y'all. This is not it. This commercial.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Wow. You're stepping it up, sweetie. Stepping it up. I love it. Ooh, shapes. I used to love finger painting. It was so much fun. Wow.
Now what happened to my? Oh, you know what?
What happened?
I put the blank screen to have the subscribe button and all that come on,
Oh, oh,
but because it's made for kids, you can't put that on there. So I need to go back in and take that out.
oh, that's the
See, but I
reason.
have to
Oh,
learn. I have to, you know. But yes, BJ, please send me whatever you have. It will help. It will help me a lot. And I do have the butterflies. I will send you an email with the butterflies and the song, and you can see what you can do with it.
oh, poor BJ. He's so sweet.
And also, BJ, I was thinking I need to update Chloe's channel too. So I need a Chloe dog that's a Chihuahua and Dotson, a Chiweenie, but needs to have floppy ears because Chloe's
I
got
love
floppy
those
ears.
ears. I love those ears when she's rolling around. Those ears just
Yeah.
flop on.
And sometimes it'll be flipped backwards and like she don't flip
Uh-huh.
it
Just
back.
as
I
cute.
have to go over
She
there
just
and
kind of
flip
looks up
it
like,
for
what?
her. I'll
BJ, are
send
you going to
you
get on the payroll, honey?
BJ, I'll send you a couple of pictures of Chloe, and then you can use that for your inspiration. Oh goodness,
You
I
need
love
to.
having friends that are talented. I
Right?
mean, I love it.
And it is appreciated, and he knows that.
Oh
He's,
yes,
yeah,
it's definitely
he's a
appreciated.
sweetheart.
Ah, so appreciated.
Yeah, I love that. Wonderful job. You two collaborating on that intro and the thumbnail and everything. A beautiful
Yeah,
job. Send me a pic of him. There we go.
there we
I'll sit back
go.
and now he's
It's
ready
a
to rock
girl.
and
She's a
roll.
girl. It's a girl dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Dogs are boys and cats are girls. I don't know why. It just, that's just check
Yeah,
out my shorts.
he has
Okay.
so many cool shorts with the cat with his little cats, and he
Uh-huh.
does really good with the shorts. If y'all
Well, I'm a
haven't
cat
checked
lover,
him
BJ.
out,
Let's talk.
make sure you check him out.
Yeah.
He just put out a music video,
Drop your
uh,
channel, honey.
and he's going to be doing Laurel and Hardy videos.
Oh, that'd be
I
fun.
love Laurel and Hardy, so I can't
Oh,
wait
that's
for those to
fun.
come out.
Just hearing the intro music gets me smiling, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a
Sorry, that's all
kid,
I'm gonna say.
I would go to the movie theater and they would play the Godzilla movies. And,
Oh, okay.
people would, their mouths would move and then it would be dubbed in English, because
Uh-huh.
the Godzilla movies were like, I don't know, some Asian country or something. But I used to love that, how it didn't match up.
Yeah. But the spaghetti westerns did that a lot too. Remember the
Yeah,
spaghetti westerns?
yeah.
Those, yeah, a lot of
And
them
I don't know
made
why I
money.
liked the Godzilla ones, but I did.
Godzilla. I love Godzilla movies. We used to have a thing on Saturday nights in my area. It was called Creature Features, So they would show
Okay,
things on
BJ, we're
TV.
going there, honey. We are
Huh?
going there.
Are we?
We're going there because he's saying there's pictures of him on there. So, and
Okay,
I've
let's see
already
them.
watched them, but they're very cute. So we're gonna go there and we're gonna
Okay.
show them.
Okay. You open the door, BJ. You open the door, BJ.
You did. You should know me well enough to know. Don't tell me things if you don't want it on YouTube or you don't want it on my channel, because I will put it out. All right, let's go back. Wake up, computer. All right. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was going to say he should still be on here, but he's not. I've done been too many places today. All right. Okay. Now, can y'all see it? I don't know why I got to come out and come back in because I'm like, yeah, it's not there yet. You're not there yet. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm echoing.
Now, isn't it cute? Are y'all aren't seeing it yet? Hold on.
I'm seeing it.
Well, it's not. I got it pulled up on my phone, but here it goes. Now they'll be able to see it. Okay. Now, let's go to this other one. All right. And then this one. Let me find my favorite kitty cat one. This one. Okay. And let's see. This one's pretty cute too. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, here's another one. I didn't see this one.
Play-Doh, Play-Doh.
Yeah. Uh, he's got something like 450,000 views. Oh, here. Now that's cool. I want you to make me fly. Yeah, he is super duper creative. Oh, here's one. I guess I didn't go far enough back the other night when I was watching.
Ooh, ooh.
khloethechiweenie. khloethechiweenie.
Oh, gotta watch this one.
We have to turn 7 o'clock. This looks like it. Wow.
Grumbles88 asks, are you contractually obligated to say literally 17 times per video? Into further chaos. Grumbles88 asks, are you contractually obligated to say literally 17 times per video? Into further chaos. Grumbles88 asks, are you contractually obligated to say literally 17 times per video? Into further chaos. Grumbles88 asks, are you contractually obligated to say literally
There's something
17
about kittens in a sink. He said is the one that went viral. Let's see, kittens in a sink. Here. Yeah, these are just too cute. Okay, oh, this one.
Good day, folks. Have a good day and enjoy the jokes. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Thanks for dropping. Good day, folks. Have a good day and enjoy the jokes. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you
Nice. Nice.
Like, are there any that I missed? I'm sure
Really?
there are.
Really?
Oh, here's one.
Hello everyone. Please check out my channel, BJ's Misadventures, where laughter and nature mix. Hello everyone.
He did one, a Santa Claus one. That might be a video, though, not a short. Last year for the Christmas
You need honey.
challenge.
You need honey. You need you need Well, we're not done yet. Well, we're not done yet. Unmute us. Unmute us.
Oh, I can search it. Rudy taught me that last night. How you can come up here and search, and if there's a video, it'll bring it up. Let's see. Here, this one. Okay. That was so cool. I'm just amazed. BJ does amazing work. Definitely. Yep. No wonder I'm like, hey, BJ, can you do this? Can you do that?
Right? You got a squeaky toy, so he's noisy, you know.
Okay.
We were playing the music, honey. We were playing music. We could hear it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
played music.
One of them was "Girls Just Want to Have Fun." I love that.
See, I don't know how he does it when he can't hear it. How
Right?
He, you know,
Unless he feels it,
it's amazing.
you know, he can feel the
Maybe.
vibration.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, oh, you wanted me to play the music video. Okay, I'll go back. I forgot. He did tell me that he made a music video one. So hold on.
I would drop his channel, but I don't have it.
Is it this one, BJ? No, this one. Okay. Oops. What happened? Okay. There we go.
Now I'm on mute.
Okay.
I was echoing when you were doing that.
Oh, you were?
That was irritating. We want to hear his stuff. Yeah. But I did drop his channel link in my
Okay.
site. So, Rick, if you want to hit it, or whoever is out there, Scully, yeah, subscribe to him. Yes, honey. Short and sweet. Thank you.
There we go.
You were
I
beautiful.
dropped his in my side. All right, y'all.
Okay.
This was fun, but we've been on 2 hours.
Yeah, it's about our routine.
Oh my goodness! You know it's pretty
But
bad.
I enjoyed that. That was a good way to end with BJ's
Yeah.
stuff. That was a good
But
way to
it's
end.
pretty bad when guests say, "I can only do an hour."
Yeah, I was on the phone and I glanced up and you're alone, and I went, "Oh shit!"
I'm like, okay, yeah, we can keep it to an hour. That's not a problem. But I'll probably be talking more.
She
So now I'm like, okay,
just doesn't know, does she? She just
I'll
doesn't know.
talk to.
We can do 3.5 hours just coloring.
I know. Oh, did you see I finished it over there?
No, I didn't see the finish
I
product.
finished the one. Well, the one we did that night, but then I had started
Right.
this one on the members only live, and I finished it last
Right.
night.
Nice.
It's finished now. And I got some more of my diamond painting done. I still have so much of it to do.
All right, BJ. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing that with
Yes.
us.
Thank you, BJ.
That was
I
beautiful.
love you. And I'll be emailing you. He's like, why did I ever give her my
It
email?
looks like Rick is going to. All right,
All right,
sweetheart.
Stephanie,
You have a good evening.
great night. She did a video on her Beyond the Dream channel for me about why we have reoccurring dreams.
Okay.
So
That's
she's
interesting.
gonna come on, I don't know when, but we're gonna do one about exercise because she was in the military. And I want to talk about
okay.
how the military makes you work out and stuff. And then I'm going to have her come back another time and we're going to talk about the dream things because I really am interested in dreams. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes dreams, and like I was saying, you guys were chit-chatting, and I said I always dreamt I was flying, but see, I was in that age when I was a kid. I would fly like the flying
Mhm.
knight. So I would do one of these things and I would fly away.
Yeah. I I mean, I had several reoccurring dreams over my lifetime, you know, but I haven't had one since the work one. So since then, since about 2017, I haven't really had a recurring dream. And I don't know if I'm still dreaming and just not remembering them. I got
They say you do.
I got to start trying to
They say
write them
you,
down when I first wake up. See if I can
that's key. Uh-huh.
remember any of it. I don't know, but yeah, that
Before you have your bone broth, right?
yeah.
While your bone broth is heating up.
I tell you what, I mean, I had that like 6.5 cups of it. That's gone. I'm on the small container, and then I have the second
Uh-huh.
6.5 cups. And then when I get done, when I get that one out, and about halfway through, I gotta make me another batch because I'm definitely enjoying having it. I bought some little cartons of the chicken broth, but it has turmeric and something else in it, and it's kind of weird tasting. And it's not thick like mine is. It's not like real savory and
Yeah.
thick, and
And always broth, it seems really salty. Unless you know,
well,
I don't know.
yeah, and that's another
Who
reason to
knows?
make it at home because you can control how much salt you put in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Yes.
this chicken, and I only bought it because I got it at Ollie's, and it was like less than $1 for the little box of it. I think there's
Oh,
like
okay.
2 servings in the box, so I was like, well, I'll try it. Um, and I bought 4 of them, so I'm gonna
Okay.
have to drink them, but I won't buy any more of that. I'm gonna make my own chicken broth too, or chicken bone broth too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna buy some whole chickens,
And
and I'm
debone them.
debone them, and then I'm gonna make the bone broth out of the bone, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Deboning
make
a chicken
some,
after it's cooked is kind of, yeah.
yeah, I'm
But
gonna
it's
make
good.
some
It's good stuff.
casseroles out
With a
of
bay
the
leaf in it.
chicken, make some homemade chicken salad out of it. I don't know what else I'm gonna make, but you can
I
freeze
can't
the
really make
chicken
chicken and
once
dumplings.
chicken and dumplings. Yeah,
You can't do that though, honey.
I know.
Right?
I could make them, but I could eat like one dumpling.
Yeah.
Something about that, just
Yeah.
it's not fun just being able to have, like one, no.
Especially if you're cooking by yourself, for
Yeah,
yourself, you
yeah.
know. I mean, if you were cooking for a family and then you had just a nibble of it, then you could do it something else again.
Well, that's what I was saying about the bread. Like you go to the bakery and what I need to do is find me a bakery where they sell individual like croissants or
Mhm.
rolls or whatever, and I could buy just one instead of having to
Right.
get a whole package of something.
Well, sometimes I hate to say this, but I'm going to. Sometimes they have it in those little donut cases things. They have the
Yeah,
single croissants, but you
that's
got to
true.
build a donut case to get them. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I don't really do donuts either, so but or bagels. Oh my gosh.
I love bagels.
I love a bagel with cream cheese on it. And I used to get the flavored cream cheese. Oh,
Yeah,
can't eat that anymore. Well, I
no,
could. I could eat it like a bite or two, and then that would be that.
yeah,
So,
that would be just a teaser.
yeah.
That
I
would be
need to
just a
find
teaser.
somebody who's really skinny who will eat these things, and so I can just have a bite and then they can eat the rest of it. Like, I
Yep, I get
just
it.
want a bite. I just want to try a bite of it. No,
Mhm.
like I'm going to Red Lobster with
Or
my
just go to the
Loretta.
restaurant and go, can I have a bite of yours? I just want a bite of yours. Excuse me, sir, at that table, can I have a bite of yours? I just want to taste.
And when I used to go, because Red Lobster used to be my absolute favorite restaurant.
Okay.
And of course, I would eat, their Cheddar Bay biscuits, and I would eat everything. But so now it's like, man, I really want some of that biscuit, but if I eat that, I can't eat nothing else. And it's like, I like the stuffed mushrooms and I like the shrimp scampi. And it's like, I can eat like one mushroom and maybe 2 pieces of shrimp and like a bite of the biscuit, and I'm done. But
and we can sit there for an hour or two and eat that, and then you can eat a little bit more.
Yeah.
Golden Corral is totally out for you.
Oh yeah. Now, I don't even go to any kind of buffet. I go in and I get a to-go box.
Yeah.
And then I sit down at the table and I eat out of my to-go box. Because, a buffet, they won't let you take if you get too much on your plate, they won't let you take it with you.
Right.
So yeah. My daughter was so funny. She's like, well, if you're going to get a to-go box, then I'll just get a to-go box and we'll just leave. I'm like, well, then why are you getting off the buffet? I mean, I really was like, we should just order something,
Right.
But I guess because the buffet has a lot of different things on it and you can get a variety,
Right.
Okay, Miss Ellen, have a good night.
Because it is a smorgasbord kind of thing, too.
Yeah. But and I don't eat like the rice and I don't eat the lo mein or anything like that. So when I go, I just get like the chicken wings and the stir fries and stuff like that. So, but I can eat. But you know what? Chinese food, takeout Chinese food, has a lot of chemicals in it.
Oh
and my legs will swell if I eat it.
They're infamous for MSG.
Yeah. And I never really paid any attention to that before. But now, And I don't eat French fries very often at all, but I might eat like one French fry and it tastes like it's been, like
it's synthetic,
battered in salt. It's just like
that's salt. Yeah.
So salty. And I love salty snacks, but I can't do that. I'm like, it's like no. But I mean that part of it, you don't enjoy some of the things, as much because you can't eat very much of it, but you still can get the taste of it. It's not like you have to, when you're on a traditional diet and you aren't eating carbs or you're not eating sweets or whatever, then you feel deprived. Like, I really want that and I can't have it. At least with this, even though I can't have very much of it, if I really want it, I'm going to have it.
Right.
But I just can't have very much of it.
Right.
And I can't do like Dairy Queen or a milkshake or anything like that because it's just too big.
Right.
It's like even the smallest thing is, but I have a granddaughter and I eat part of what she gets. So
there you go. That works.
But it's like, I would love to have a Blizzard. I think that's what Dairy Queen's is called. I like the Heath bar broke up in the Blizzard.
Oh, okay.
I can only have a couple bites of it, so it's not worth even getting the small Blizzard. And my daughter doesn't like that. I'm like, couldn't you like it just one time so your mama could have a bite? She's like, no, I want a hot fudge sundae. Like, I don't want a hot fudge sundae. I want, or let me get the peanut butter parfait or whatever, the peanut with the peanuts, the red skin peanuts and the hot fudge and the ice cream,
Okay. I don't know.
No, can't do that because she doesn't like
I don't know when I was at Dairy Bell the last time, or Dairy Queen, or whatever. I don't remember. Probably when I was a kid.
It's really funny though, the things that you think about, like coming too big of a size,
Yeah.
which I mean, most portions are not the right size portion for normal people. Like when you go to a restaurant or something, most of the time the portion is bigger than what you really need to eat. So for me, they're
And
really,
American
really
portions
big.
are big. If you ask
Yeah,
anybody from another country, they say American portions are huge. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
And did you know they sell like if you go to a hamburger place and you say, I don't want the bun, I just want the hamburger patty, do you know they charge you the same exact price?
Do they what? Charge you the same price?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not any cheaper. So you might as well get it with the bun and then just not eat the bun and throw it away.
They'll also, and it's not on the menu, but I'd say 95% of them, but you gotta, will do a lettuce wrap. So they'll do your burger in a lettuce wrap.
Oh, okay.
And they will do it. They will do it. Other
And
That's the way
some
other gets his. But it's like
some places
we don't do
will.
that. Yes, you do. Yes,
Yeah.
you do. And if
Some
there's
places
money in
will
it,
sell you.
they'll sell it to you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Some places
So,
will, but most places are like, no.
yeah, if it's not
It's
on the
like
menu.
that's fine. Just give it to me, and I'll need a knife and fork because I'm going to cut it up. You
Yeah, but
know?
other does that. We'll get a hamburger and he'll pull out the bun and pull out the meat and he'll nibble on the meat. And
Yeah.
then an hour or two later, I'll see him pick up the bag and he'll nibble on the meat some more. You know? I'm
My
like,
daughter has a hard time. She's like, it just doesn't seem like you eat enough food. I'm like, just leave me alone. I eat. Believe me, I eat. I just don't want to feel sick.
yeah,
So, I
oh,
mean, I'm careful because it is uncomfortable. I mean, it's not like sharp pains or anything like that, but I'm not one that likes to get sick. And
right.
I just don't like feeling uncomfortable. And no, it's like I still do it every once in a while. I'll be like, yeah, I can eat that one more bite, and then I'm like, oh man, wish I had. And my daughter would be like, what's wrong with you? Oh, that was that last bite. I
One bite.
ate it. But most of the time, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna quit because I don't want to feel sick. So I'm good. I'm gonna stop and then maybe I'll eat a little bit more later or whatever.
Right, right.
But I
Yeah.
really find that,
Every once in a while, I have to stop him because he'll get going, and it's so good he forgets
yeah,
because it's that habit. And I'm
yeah,
like, whoop, slow down a little bit there, partner. Let that hit rock bottom, and then we'll talk some more.
yeah. And that's why I like still am, like weighing stuff out sometimes because you can't eyeball it, you know, or you'll
Well,
look
especially
at
if it's something like, or something that you're craving.
yeah, and you're like, well, that's not enough. I need more than that.
I'll buy
And
her
then
two
it's
more.
like, okay, I can't finish it all.
Yeah. Or you'll do it in front of the TV and not realize how
I
much
used to be the person who never wasted food at all. Didn't matter what it was. I need a to-go box. I'm taking it home. I will do something with it. I'm not throwing it in the garbage. I'm paying good money for it. I'm not wasting it.
Uh-huh.
I never let things spoil in my refrigerator. Now it's like I buy something, I open it, eat a little bit out of it, and it dies in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, man, I made the mistake and went and bought a seedless watermelon,
Wow.
thinking that I would eat watermelon every day. And I cut it in half and I sent half of it home with the baby.
Uh-huh.
So I only had half of a seedless watermelon. And I scooped it all out and I was like, I'll eat a little bit every day. I think I ate it maybe twice. And then it sat in there And I mean, I knew it was in there, and I kept saying, yeah, you need to eat that watermelon. You need to eat it. No,
Well, it's just like we were saying. After you eat it a couple of days, it's like, yeah, I know, and it's good, but that's not what I want. And
but
I'm gonna have
I
this
told
face.
myself, the next time you want watermelon, you just buy a slice or two
Yeah,
of watermelon. Because
yeah,
even though it's almost as much as getting the whole one, you know, you cannot
yeah,
eat a whole one.
yeah.
And I
Throwing away
used
food
to
just
take
drives me
half a
nuts. I'll do
watermelon
something.
and then cut it in half so it'd be like fourth of a watermelon. And I'd get the salt shaker and I would just put
Oh
salt
yeah,
on it and I would eat and then I would put more salt on it, as I ate it down and stuff. Mm-mm. I amaze myself now thinking back of how much food I actually would eat.
yeah.
Like
But
now,
again, you're thinking it's only watermelon. It's only watermelon. It's not a
yeah,
candy bar. It's only
yeah.
watermelon.
But like if I want chips or pretzels or crackers or, something like that, I
Mhm.
might could eat two or three.
Mhm.
Um, Before, I mean, I would eat like a whole bag of potato chips.
Right.
And now I'm like, how on earth did I do that? It's like, oh my goodness. And then I worry about my daughter. She'll be like, she'll eat her dinner and then she's like, I want dessert. And then she'll get dessert. I'm like, oh, honey. But then, nobody could tell me not to eat it either.
No,
So.
no.
But
She's
she
grown.
said she wouldn't have the surgery because she said she wouldn't eat right and it wouldn't, do her any good because she wouldn't do what she was supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, you can force yourself and stretch your stomach open again. You can do that. It does. It does happen. It's a
Yeah.
painful way to go.
I
Having the
just,
surgery and then stretching it back out. That's a lot
yeah.
of pain to go through. But
But I'm saying as much as mine hurts when I got one spoonful too much, can you imagine the pain to
to
get it
stretch
to
it back
stretch it out? I mean, that's you're having to eat a lot.
yeah.
And I would
Constantly.
be in the bathroom before I would do that. I
Mhm.
couldn't do it.
Mhm.
I'm like, no, 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 not this chick. And I don't want to have to go because some people have the sleeve done and then they end up going back and getting the bypass done,
Oh, okay.
you know. And I'm like, man, if you couldn't lose the weight with the sleeve, I mean, what?
Yeah, and you're going in there once, you're not going to go in there a second time. You go in there once,
Uh-uh.
do whatever you got to do, and get out. I'm not letting you in there again.
Hi, Elisa. Well, seeing with mine, I had so much scar tissue from my other abdominal surgeries that there was no way they could do the bypass. And then it took him like an hour longer than it should have because he had to get through all that scar tissue to be able to
Oh,
get the instruments in there to
mhm.
even do the sleeve.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, that's my only option. I don't have,
Oh, you did
the
the sleeve?
option. I had sleeve, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't
I thought
have
you
the
did the
bypass.
bypass.
Yeah. Couldn't do the bypass because they couldn't get that.
Couldn't get to it.
Which I knew it was a mess in there because when I had my hysterectomy, they were going to save one ovary and everything was all glued together and
Oh,
they just had to cut it all out. So I
right.
knew it was going to be a mess in there. So when he started talking about how they did it, I was like, yeah, that's not going to work on mine.
Trust
And
me.
he was
Trust
like,
me.
well,
I know my innards.
we'll do a CAT scan and we'll see what we're working with. And when I went back and got the results, he said, young lady, you're getting the sleeve. I said, I knew it. I knew I was. And then when he came to see me after it was all over, he was like, man, what a mess you had in there. And I
Oh,
actually think I had a hernia. And by him doing what he did, I don't have it anymore.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if it really was or if it was just like a big lump of scar tissue there or what. But whatever he did, I don't have it anymore.
Nice.
So that's
Hopefully he
good.
cleaned it up a little bit for
He
you.
cleaned it up. Yep. But he was like, man, oh man. And I am so thankful that he went ahead and did that and did the surgery, because I would have been one upset girl if he said we couldn't do it,
Right.
I would have been
It
like,
can
cut
happen
me
still
open.
big.
I don't care. Do whatever you got to do. Fillet me like a fish. I don't care. I got to have this done.
Well,
But
and you have to set your diet up before then too. You have
yeah,
to start preparing yourself. So
yeah.
it's weeks of prep, actually months of prep.
It took me like from March until July.
Yeah.
So April, May, June, July.
3 months of prep, something like that.
I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
it's not a lot of prep.
I
I mean, it's
started
not like you just go in there and do it.
It took me from January to July. Yeah, from January to July. So it's like 6 months
Uh-huh.
to get everything done. But yeah, I would have been so disappointed. And I didn't even know how big I was. When I look at my videos now, I'm like, oh my God. I don't know how I did anything. It's no wonder I could barely walk.
And you ran around Walmart all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. I don't know. I'm like, oh my goodness. And no wonder I was on 19 medicines and 200 units of insulin and still had high blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just floored. And then to think that, all my doctor was saying was, you're maxed out. I don't think there's much more we can do. Hello, Vince. And let me see if I can see it. Resident Rev Securator. Hello. Um, but yeah, what are they gonna do? Just let me die? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
they can only do so much.
They needed to hit me in the head with a brick or something, get it in my brain that I was bad off.
Yeah. But it
But
doesn't happen overnight.
But for how I feel now to how I felt then, yeah, I was about to die. If it wasn't because I gave up, it was because I couldn't do anything and I would have just sat there and rotted,
Right.
Mm-mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I was even watching some of my old exercise videos. My stomach has gone down.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's still my problem area, from what it was before my fall to now, it has definitely gone down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed that this morning when I was watching you. I'm like, oh my goodness, you're getting so supple and your knees can go higher. So I know your belly is,
It's so funny that I keep forgetting to do my knees. It's like almost every time I'll be like, you didn't do the knees. You gotta go do those knees. I think I'm getting too many and I can't remember them all. I need to make me a better list where I can just go down the list,
Right. BJ's back.
Did you get my playlist, Echo? I sent it by email. No, I don't know. I didn't look yet. I'll Okay, I got it.
Executioner. Reverend Executioner.
Oh, cool. Okay. I'll put it in my description if I can. If not, I'll just have to find another way to share it. But I will.
Oh yeah, you know she'll share it.
Yep. I will even put myself a note right here. I redid my calendar because I was getting it so junked up with so many things on it. Um, so now I made a page in this little notebook, one page for each day. And then I went in there and I wrote down everything I have to do on each day. So I had
Uh-huh.
like this much space before for each day. Now I got a whole page. I should be able to keep better organized now. I hope. If my daughter
Yeah, I
doesn't
like
quit,
that ending. I hope.
I hope. If my daughter
Well,
doesn't
Rev,
quit
you've been
telling
on
me,
here for 2.5 hours, honey. You
well, if she
missed
doesn't
us.
quit telling me the
Oh no.
executioner. Oh, okay. Um, but she'll tell me I have to
No
come pick her
offense.
up on a certain day, and I write it on the calendar. And then when that week gets here, she's like, "Oh no, that got changed. That's not that day. It's this day." Or no, don't come get her that day. I'll bring her that night or whatever. I'm like, I need it to be on my calendar, you know. So we'll see.
And stay there. Don't
Don't change
adjust.
it.
Yeah.
I think she called, what day did she call me? Sunday. She was like, "Do you have a black shirt for the baby?" And I'm like, "Yep." I went in there and looked and I said, "I got two long sleeve black shirts." "No, I need a short sleeve shirt." I'm like, "Well, cut them off, roll them up, something, you know." Um,
Right.
oh, I do remember you as Reverend J. That's why you have a ranch. I was going to say, you sounded so familiar. You've got Discord too. I think I had joined your Discord, but then it got so many notifications, I changed it. I got out of it or whatever. But yes, I do remember you. But anyhow, I think she wanted me to bring her the shirt, but I played dumb and I didn't
Right.
offer to take her the shirt. So then she calls me today and she's like, "What you doing tonight?" And I said, "Well, I got a live." "Oh, okay." So I think she was going to ask me to do something tonight,
Uh
but she didn't because I said I had a live. And it's
right.
just kind of funny to me. Um, like I guess she thinks I don't do anything all day long because she'll always say, "Well, what did you do today?" And so I'll start telling her, what I did. "Oh, well, you've
Uh-huh.
been busy." "Well, yeah. I mean, you think I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, doing nothing?" I mean, I don't know what she thinks I'm doing. Like, why would I be not doing nothing? And then it's funny because
Right.
she knows I like to know what I'm doing, and that's why she has to tell me ahead of time about stuff. And yet she acts like I don't have any live scheduled, or I am not going to somebody's live to watch them, or
your
I'm like,
granny. You don't have
oh,
a life.
I have plenty of things I'm doing, and I'm busy, and whatever. But she just acts like, I should be doing absolutely nothing all day long, every
Right.
day, you know.
Yeah. Sitting on a shelf
And I
waiting for
told
her
her, I
call.
said, I have things I should be doing around my apartment, but I don't want to. I'm using my time doing what I want to do. And
Right.
it's like the refrigerator. I threw the food away. I just didn't clean out the refrigerator. I made
Right.
room for what I needed to put in there.
Yep. I got things out today. It's garbage day tomorrow morning. So I got things out so I can take it all to the trash. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, see, we have a dumpster
Get rid of it
because
all.
it's an apartment, so we have a
Oh, okay.
dumpster. So
Uh-huh.
I can take it out whenever I want. Oh, he says, I'm sorry, Echo, but you sound like
Right.
Roseanne. Roseanne? Yeah, Roseanne the comedian. Oh,
Like in Roseanne
I'll take that
Barr.
as a compliment. I like
She made a lot of
I
money
liked
sounding
her.
like
I
that.
think she was funny. But anyway, you're probably right. We're going on past 2.5 hours. We probably should get off of here. But we got 10 people in here,
It was a
so
beautiful, beautiful thing.
y'all
Here.
need to leave.
And I
So
love
we
that
cannot
Matt
feel bad about leaving. We do appreciate everybody who has come in here and everybody who's hung out with us tonight.
Yes.
It has been a fun night. I'm so glad. I don't want these to be depressing and so
I think that's the reason and we're at the end of it all, we kind of do a little, enjoyment kind of time.
Yeah.
Fun and giggles.
Yeah.
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 So we don't end on a
Well, and it's important to not keep yourself in that dark place all the time.
Yes.
Even when you're working on stuff, you still need to be able to break away from that and still, find things to laugh at and enjoy, the new things that you are finding out about yourself and enjoy that. And don't let that other stuff, weigh on you too bad.
Right.
Oh, it's okay
It's
that you came
there for
in
what
late. We've been on here for 2.5 hours. You could have came in anytime. There's Stinky Ann. How are you doing? She's over on your channel. Do you know Stinky Ann?
No.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not well, but I've met her before. I've seen her name before.
Oh, okay.
And I think she came up on panel one time and was like, what are we talking about?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I recall.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Elisa. Have a good night. I hope you feel better. Thank you for using the emojis. And thank you for being a member. And thank you for being my friend.
All of the above.
All of the above. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. Y'all have a great
Say
night.
yours. I said it last time. You say it this time.
Oh.
What you said.
Well, I like what you say. You say yours first.
Yeah, oh, okay. Try to make today just a little bit better than yesterday.
Yes. If we could just do that each day, a little bit by little bit by little bit, eventually we would have great days every day. Hi, Rudy. We're fixing to go. Rudy had his night last night. He was on for a long time. All right. Y'all be safe. Take care of each other. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. Bye now.